All yiggity. And we're back. And family, we got to talk about this latest move by VP Kamala Harris. She picked Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. And let me tell you, this duo is about to seal the deal on the erasing the black vote and undermining foundational black Americans as a whole. This guy, Tim Walz, basically turned Minnesota into a sanctuary state, showering all the illegal immigrants with all the goodies and giveaways, all at the expense of its black citizens and their tax dollars. Right now, we're going to go to Brother Phil Scott of the African Diaspora News. He breaks it down the best, so y'all need to go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube channel now. But the question is Harris and Walz gonna push more of an agenda of benign neglect towards black people? It's real out here, fam. This ain't just politics, really, right now. This is do y'all really want to stay relevant in this world? I can't say it the best. Let me go ahead and take it to Brother Phil Scott real quick, because he did something that I like. First of all, I want y'all to just check this montage out just because. So this is the vice president. Let's check this little montage out. This the president.
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. and you can talk about if you're
little cackling Kamala, the koala bear.
The wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
Yeah. And I'm wondering what the United States is going to do more specifically to set up a permanent infrastructure. And relatedly, is the United States willing to make a specific allocation for Ukrainian refugees? And for President Duda, I wanted to know if you think, and if you asked the United States to specifically accept more refugees.
Okay. A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay.
That's what y'all want for y'all president, fam. Just hold on.
This is an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance.
She looked like she chopped right there. Like she done threw a few shots back on Air Force One. Is what she done did. Hold on. She looked goofy.
Okay.
This is just an extraordinary
right there.
Testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests.
Understand diplomacy in the street. What are you talking about, ma'am?
Understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day.
Okay, so what we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and
You're like, no, don't say that. What are you doing? You're blowing my cover.
I know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like our thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah. I believe.
Like, girl, you mind your business. She looked like you need to mind your business.
That we need to address. Well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country. Let's really be clear about it.
What? What'd she say?
Okay.
This is just extraordinary.
Hold on, y'all. Did she just say what I think she said?
First of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country.
Our thing we're so excited about to have you running.
So
You're not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people? No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your new Vice President Kamala Harris devotional. I see some people like it. If y'all got some more footage of her doing something, let us know. These devotionals can be expanded. Of course, we don't want to expand it too long, right? but they can be expanded. All right. So yeah, ski-weeing it up. Definitely ski-weeing it up.
And again, the reason why we're watching this is because he does a phenomenal breakdown on who Tim Walz is. In case you didn't know, like Professor Black Truth said today in this morning briefing, nobody in Minnesota really knows about Tim Walz. They had to put up an article talking about who is Tim Walz. But they know, but the Democratic Party know that he's an ace at pushing all of that legislation through and giving all the illegals the goodies and giveaways. But y'all just wait. Well, don't take my word for it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nope. I just run this podcast that informs the people. I don't know what I'm talking about. Listen to somebody else.
All right. So as we talked about here, the Minnesota governor, Tim Walz, was selected by Vice President Kamala Harris. Right when I saw that, I said, oh, that's not a good pick. That's not a good pick, because once I start looking into this gentleman and what he's about, what he promotes, Minnesota, and just what goes on up there, no, it's not it. But I want to play just a couple of videos from Governor Tim Walz, and let's just kind of have a conversation. And after we play this video, let's just talk about, do you think that a Harris-Walz administration would do anything for black people? We already know what Kamala feels about it, right? But let's go on and cue this up. All right. Here we go, Mr. Walz. There. Let's cue it up.
Democrats need to do is acknowledge, and he has ginned up fear, but our border can work better. There's no reason someone seeking asylum, which we will always be a guiding light for, shouldn't have to wait 7 years to have that adjudicated. That's why this bill would have made it 90 days and people either got it or they were removed.
So he's talking real fast, but I want to make sure y'all understand. Look at the passion. Look at the conviction. We are a beacon, a guiding light for immigrants. We should always have our doors open. Man, if he only felt that way about the homeless population in Minnesota that's citizens. Only if. I mean, there's more.
And I think seeing a plan that's out there, talking about it with folks, knowing that he's not going to do anything. He talks about this wall. I always say, let me know how high it is. If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in the 30-foot ladder factory. That's not how you stop this. You stop this using electronics. You stop it using more border control agents. And you stop it by having a legal system that allows for that tradition of allowing folks to come here, just like my relatives did, to come here, be able to work and establish the American dream. He's not...
I found that really interesting before we go on. So you know how the male brigade always be like, well, if you don't like it, go back to Africa. As if we some others, as if we've been in Africa in like 400 years. But it is funny that he said immigrate here just like his parents did. What was that, in the 30s and the 40s or something like that? I just found that real interesting because, I mean, if you think about it, most of the palm-colored people that are here are from somewhere in Europe. Came over here during the potato famine and stuff like that. It wasn't popping over there. They had the plague. They had the wooty-woo. They had to get up out of there. I just thought that was funny. There's more.
Interested in that. He wants to demonize. Look, we produce most of the turkeys that you're going to eat in Thanksgiving. Those are immigrants working hard, establishing themselves here. What's he going to do? Is he going to take them all out?
It's done.
A packed room at the St. Paul Armory erupted after the governor's signature made drivers...
Look at that picture. Look at that picture. And there's one person standing there. Brother. I didn't know that you got down like that. I know that guy personally. This one right here. I ain't even going to say his name because I know somebody that rock with him like that. And I don't want to start no dramas right now. But this person, fam, you right there on the front lines with the demise, huh? This is Tim Walz giving illegal immigrants the ability to get a driver's license. But what they're not telling you is, ain't it a driver's license all you need to cast a vote? If TZ was here.
License for all, the law of the land.
Should Minnesota be a sanctuary state?
Matter of fact, hold on, wait. Let me go back to that picture too, because that says a lot too. It says a lot aesthetically as well. I'm not even really too concerned about the volume at this point. Hold, let me just let it draw out, and then let me take a pause. Just take a look at the crowd. And what you see is, you'll see a whole bunch of people pushing for laws for immigration. But you see a couple little sprinkly sprinks of blackness in there. And you gotta wonder, man. You gotta wonder, is that what you call complicit in the downfall? Is that what you call a collaborator? Like, cause this person in particular is very smart. Like, I'm talking about law smart. This guy is very smart. He's actually a representative of Minneapolis. And I'm still not going to say the name. If you want to know, go check it out. But dude is smart. So what are you doing there? Like, you ain't got something to look out for your own people? I ain't really never seen Cuz with an initiative for something for us. But you over there smiling and profiling. All right, I'm gonna let that go. There's more. Oh, let me get the volume for you. Here we go.
Should Minnesota be a sanctuary state?
If the definition of that is that the federal government enforces immigration law and local law enforcement enforces local law, then yes.
Should cities be allowed to be sanctuary cities?
Yes, local control. But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
Whoa.
All right. And that's the gentleman that Kamala Harris has picked. Yes, in his state, he made sure that anybody can have a driver's license, even people who aren't legal in this country because they broke federal law. You understand? He is extremely pro open borders. Now, the Democrats going to say, well, he did free lunch. He did free lunch. And where does the money come from? The taxpayers. So he didn't do anything that taxpayer money didn't pay for. He should be doing something like that, right? Well, he did some sort of deal about college tuition. Okay, great. They should do that because the taxpayers are paying things, right? Because Minnesota is number 2 behind California having the highest income tax. So they should give somebody something when you're taking all that money from the people, right? So this guy here, you heard what he said about socialism and all of that. He said that one person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. Okay, fine. So this guy comes on with Kamala Harris. We already know what she's promoting, right? So it's not hard to figure out what she's about. And he's done policies in his state that promotes that times 10. It's LGBT did that, the driver license, all these things. Of course, the same state, Minnesota, where George Floyd happened at, right? The same state. Black Americans aren't doing well in Minnesota at all. We talk about Black Americans. We talk about descendants of slaves. They're not really doing well in Minnesota. Southern Diplomat, shout out for the super chat. He said, look, it's Obama Harris. Yeah, just about. That's the game that they're playing.
Pretty much.
With that. But this is the thing. This administration don't have anything to offer for Black Americans. Look at the man she picked. He is pro open borders. He's pro sanctuary cities. Let me cue that back up. Let me cue that video back up. And let's just take our time through this like we normally like to do.
Now it's another thing that I thought interesting about what he said, and I'm not gonna play his whole content. I just wanted to get these points out. But he broke down the numbers. Let me see.
Oh, they got to go. If it's too many different African groups.
Hold on.
But this guy want people to come in over here and say, in 90 days, they should be, given something or put out. Now, good and well, underneath a Democrat administration, they're not going to deport people. I just call it what it is. They're not going to be deporting people.
That's right.
They'll deport the black people. I'm sorry. They'll deport the black people. If it's too many Haitians show up, oh, they got to go. If it's too many different African groups, if it's way too many showing up, oh, y'all got to go. Y'all got to go. But the rest of them, they can stay. We already know the game with the Democrat Party. They're very anti-black. Yes, even with the black immigrants. Do you remember the black immigrants in New York City was protesting because they were saying, hey, wait a minute. All them debit cards Eric Adams are giving out, all this free food, and everybody from Venezuela and Latin America getting it. But what about the Africans? Well, why are we not getting it? And I'm like, yeah, the Democrat Party don't like black people, even Africans or Caribbeans. Maybe a couple of African and Caribbeans is in there with them. But for the most part, they don't like y'all either. No matter how much you want to delineate, they don't like y'all either. And some of y'all start figuring it out later. But when you first get here, you think, okay, I'm going to get on the team with them and they're going to prefer us over. And people don't like y'all. They don't. So this guy is just, and how does that benefit black America, what this man just said about 90 days? Let's talk about this. We already have a housing crisis in America right now. They are saying we don't have enough homes for everybody and we really need to be building homes. Now, you got a homeless population in Minnesota.
Here we go.
Right? And just so I can be clear, so I don't put out any, wrong information. Let me look this up real quick in real time. Hold on. Let me see. Homeless population. Let's just see who's the most homeless. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to get this directly from people of color. Minnesota's homelessness is, they say, African American. After them, 34% white.
Hold on. My bad, y'all.
They say African percent of Minnesota is broken down. 47% of Minnesota's homelessness is, they say, African American. After them, 34% white. 11% American Indian, Asian, 1%. So 47% of the homeless population in Minnesota is black. And on top of that, and even white people too, right? So you're going to take people, listen what this guy just said. 47% of his homeless population is black. He wants to take people, open borders, put them in Minnesota and through the rest of the country, but that just focus on his state. He wants to do that with 47% of his homeless being black Americans. How could any black American vote for that guy, for one? Where are you going to put these people?
In your hood.
Oh, I know what you're going to do with them. You're going to put them in hotels while black folks is on the street. And Minnesota gets cold. You're going to put them in schools. You're going to put them in community centers while black folks is in the rain, right?
Or overcrowded.
Vote blue no matter who, guys. This is what you're going to do. This is that guy's legacy in his state. But let's go ahead and continue. Cause like I said, we gotta really deal with this in real time about how these people are treating black folk.
And I think,
listen, I'm not going. Like I said, I'm not gonna go through this man's whole joint because he broke it down for about an hour of power. But I just kind of want to solidify that because it's a lot of confusion out here about what's really going on. Right now, we're second in population, and we're having the darndest time advocating for our needs as a community. What do y'all think, or how hard do you think it's going to be when we are third, maybe fourth in population behind, Latinos and Mexicans and Asians and all the tethers, how do you think we're going to fare then? Are you really thinking that far in the future, right? Are you really considering the fact? So this is where the vote thing comes in too. So let me tie all this in together. This is where the vote thing comes in. So this is why they're scaring us into voting and shaming us into voting, because we don't really have a legitimate reason to vote, because they're not doing anything for us, right? So the scare comes in. Well, you all heard about that Project 2025. Man, fam, it's Project 25,000 right now. Miss Massey proves that it's Project 25,000 right now. Alton Sterling, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland. Those prove that it's 2025 right now, fam. So there's really nothing that Trump, and you know what? There's side effects, good side effects from a Trump candidacy. Not like I'm voting for either one of them. The reason why I decided not to participate in the electoral process is because I feel as though our vote as a community has been taken for granted. And if we just willy-nilly, insanely, meaning doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, insanely, willy-nilly, give our vote away, because that's essentially what you're doing if you allow somebody to scare you into voting for somebody who ain't doing something for you. Don't vote. But you know what you also have the right to do? Just sit it out. That don't mean you ain't aware. That don't mean you don't care. You do have the choice to just sit it out. What does that do? Well, the powers that be, you can automatically tell what that do. Maybe you can't. Maybe this is my job. Maybe I pay attention to this. But let me tell you where I see this at. If they were so worried about us not voting for Republicans to win, right? If democracy was so important, we don't want Project 25, that we got to save you. Then why wouldn't they be listening to the demands of their base? Why wouldn't they ensure their victory by compensating the demands of their base? Because the demands of the base is, we need tangible benefits just like you're giving everybody else. We don't want nothing different than what you done already done from everybody else. Just like you cut them checks in them casinos for Indians, just like you cut them checks for the Japanese people, just like you gave debit cards and rent paid vouchers and Pizza Hut and Walmart gift cards for all the illegal immigrants, just like you set aside billions of dollars for Ukraine. We want the exact same thing, like nothing different. We don't want you to go out your way. Nah, establish what you're going to do for us, work out how you're going to do it, implement it, get it done. So what we owe, because the numbers out there, what is like between 500,000 and $1 million per FBA. All right, y'all want to give it all to us at the same time. What y'all can do though is give everybody them debit cards. They can't give everybody that. Yes, they can. They doing it already. Y'all can give all the FBA debit cards or use our direct deposit once the commission has been established to find out who's actually eligible, which is really easy because y'all got all the records, because y'all enslaved us and y'all wanted to keep track of your money. So y'all know exactly who everybody is. Stop playing. Y'all know. Once y'all establish that, then the break-off process. I'm cool with 10, 20 racks a month until it get done. With that initial lump sum, like maybe we all get that lump sum of 250, 200,000, 100,000, something like that. And then you get the 10 and the 20 every month until you reach your million. But we got to have like 250,000 right off the top, though. 250,000. See how I said that? See how I wasn't scared? That's how you gotta do it. 250,000. If you owe me let's go between the 500,000 and the million. Let's say it's 750,000. That's not per family. That's for every descendant. That ain't gonna be nothing but about 20 trill, 25, 30, maybe 40. Fam, y'all think that's big numbers, but they didn't already gave that away. If you add up all the Ukraine, all the Afghans, all the migrants, all the the defense budget, fam, boo-hoo. So you buy 2 or 3 less fighter jets, fam. Boo-hoo. You done made 100 less bombs. Boo-hoo. Those 250,000 tanks for that contractor that was just getting the money for tanks that y'all itching to use didn't get built. Boo-hoo. You still running stuff. You still got nukes. Y'all, and then you got these defeatist attitude Negro. Man, we ain't gonna never get nothing. We would have been had it. We would have been had it. But they didn't trick y'all into feeling shame about what you owe. They didn't trick y'all into thinking it's some sort of handout when they actually got compensated after slavery too. I say all of that to say this, man. How do you vote for look, I'm not saying vote for Trump, fam. I'm not a Trump guy, fam. He doesn't get the vote either unless he's talking about tangibles specifically for foundational Black Americans. But this chick, though, and your boy Walz, though, fam, it's in your face. You think I'm only going to do something for Black people? No! She ain't walked it back. She ain't went to a HBCU. You ain't heard none of the Democrat shills or nobody in here apologizing for it. She ain't apologized for it. She's standing and talking about stand on business. She stood on that business. All on the business. She ain't alluded to the fact she was going to do nothing for you. But she has said, how dare y'all celebrate Christmas and have Merry Christmas? How dare you? How dare you? She did do that, though. Of the illegals at the border, though. She did do that. So, hey, man, I can't tell you, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. But what I can say is, don't let your logic and your common sense go out the window because you scared. Step back and ask yourself, why does fear move me in such a way? And does fear move me in that same way in any other aspects of my life? Am I doing any other things out of fear that I know I shouldn't be doing, that I'm not benefiting from because I'm scared? It's just questions. You got to look deep in there. You got to ask yourself what make you want to cast your vote for somebody who said they ain't giving you nothing. Now you got this guy right here talking about he loves the immigrants. We got to get the immigrants everything. Just like my parents did when they came over here. That's what he said. Y'all know what it looked like in the soda ball. Y'all know that the police come out on club nights on horseback to corral y'all home and put borders on certain streets to corral y'all straight on the highway home. Do they do that on other nights? No. They be out there rowdy as hell. Everything. They don't do the horseback and mace on other people. Stop acting like y'all don't know what's going on, Minnesota. Minnesota's racist as hell. Straight. And it's funny that they would pick dude from George Floyd and all of that. It's funny. It's funny. Come on, man. It's time to wake up. Love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm out the Doha for Shoha. You already know. I need you to go ahead and like for the spike, comment your vomit, share if you care about getting Black empowerment everywhere. Please do that on the platforms that we own.